Welcome back to the channel, fellas. It's Gamer Schmamer here, and I'm bringing you the 2019-2020 simulation of the Oklahoma Sooners college football season. Here we go. During this series, we'll check out the depth chart, who the leaders are statistically, the schedule, and all these other things. But let's start with the schedule. We've got Houston, an FCS team, UCLA, and then you have all of the Big 12 teams you're used to seeing: Iowa State, Texas, Kansas, West Virginia, TCU, Baylor, K-State, Texas Tech, and Oklahoma State to end the season. So this is the Oklahoma Sooners 2019-2020 schedule. You will see Kyler Murray. I can't take him off the depth chart, but I made him third. So Austin Kendall is the presumed starter. And Rodney Anderson, we know he's going to the NFL. He's not an Oklahoma Sooner, so he's fourth string. And we've kind of moved everyone around, and we're checking out the rest of the roster here. We have no fullback other than Baker, who was a walk-on, I believe. And also, we've removed Hollywood Brown. We're starting with Lamb, Rambo, Michael Jones, Grant Calcaterra, A.D. Miller, and Jaquelin Crawford on wide receiver. We have Calcaterra, Morrison, Jones for tight end. Left tackle, Bray Walker, Tremonda Moore, Eric Swinson. It's gonna be a good year for the offensive line. Robinson, Moore, and Swinson again. We've got Creed Humphrey, Moore, and Swinson. Marquise Hayes, Tremonda Moore, Eric Swinson, and Cody Ford, Tremonda Moore, and Eric Swinson. On the left end, we've got Mann, Perkins, and Tatum. It's going to be a good year for the young guys. On the right end, we've got Bledsoe, and again, Perkins and Tatum. Defensive tackle, we've got Gallimore, Overton, Thompson, Fatimatu, and Perkins. For linebacker, we've got Ryan Jones, Addison Gums, John Michael Terry, Kenneth Murray at middle linebacker, Gums, Terry, and White backing him up, and Mark Jackson Jr., Addison Gums, and Terry on the right linebacker depth chart. We've got Parnell Motley, Trey Norwood, Trey Brown, Jordan Parker, and Brendan Radley Hiles on the cornerbacks. Free safety, we've got Barnes, Parker, and Brown, Broyles, Parker, and Radley Hiles. And for kicker, we have Gabe Burkick, and I don't know who that is, but apparently he's on the team. And Rodney Anderson backing up him in third string. Interesting. So Hill's the punter. Kick return, Trey Sermon. We're going to move Rodney Anderson out of the lineup, put CeeDee Lamb back there. Marquise Brown, also third string. He'll never see the ball. So yeah, that is the Oklahoma Sooner 2019-2020 presumed roster. Again, there are things that are going to change, but you just got to roll with the punches when you're doing these kinds of simulations. And let's get into what will happen this season for 2019 Oklahoma. And here we go. So I simulated this season, and we see the recruits that Oklahoma gets: an 82 overall QB, a 78, 77, 76. Got a bunch of decent recruits here. Even a 62 defensive tackle and a 64 tight end. But they had a 2,000-yard rusher, or at least they rushed for 2,000 yards, 20 turnovers, a lot of finalists for some awards here. Longest kick return, 90 yards, that's good. 50 touchdowns in a season, only 3 consecutive wins, so we know they've lost at least one game. Bunch of other things throughout the rest of the season. Let's go see how they did. Let's look at the OU season results. We'll start with the top 25 poll and work our way down. We do see OU ranked number 24. Ohio, number 1, 12-0. Wow, that is a shocker. I've never seen them number 1 before. We had Alabama, the usual characters, Ohio State, Iowa, Michigan, lots of Big Ten teams. Texas A&M, 9-3. That high at number 6. South Carolina, Florida, Tulsa, not a usual suspect. Wisconsin, top 10. There's Clemson, 9-3. Auburn, SMU, Washington, Texas, Ole Miss, Florida State, Arizona, UCF, Virginia Tech, Missouri, Colorado, Purdue, Oklahoma there at 24, and Utah at 25. Let's check out how OU did. Team leaders: Austin Kendall passes for 166 completions against 339 attempts, 2,500 yards, only 25 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions, so not as good as OU is usually used to having. Trey Sermon did rush for nearly 1,000 yards and 919 yards and 8 touchdowns, and CeeDee Lamb coming in clutch with 1,000 of the 2,500 yards through the air. That's pretty dang good. Here we can see OU's results. They win the games they're expected to win, but they lose a few shockers. Texas, that's not that shocking, but they losing to Baylor in overtime, that's a shocker. Even if it's only 3 points, Baylor's a quality program, but really, Baylor 6-6, and losing to Oklahoma State, that's 5-7. OU, do you see you're a 9-3 team? I think it would be, how are you not in double-digit wins? 5-7 OSU to close out the season, and you can't get the win. That's kind of a shocker. Let's see what happens statistically for an Oklahoma Sooner this year. Austin Kendall, only number 33 in the passing leaders, 2,500 yards. Trey Sermon, 919, only 85th in the country. CeeDee Lamb, tied for 15th at 1,000 yards, not bad. Kenneth Murray, leading tackler, only 29. That is very interesting. Kenneth Murray, only 2.5 sacks, not great. Mark Jackson Jr., 3 interceptions. You can kind of give that one away. That's not that bad. But the rest of them, the leaders, were kind of eh. And Burkick did make a 48-yarder. Now, that's good. But only 56th best in the country. Let's go to bowl season and see what happens. Wow, okay. Cam Akers, Florida State. 166 carries, 1,100 yards, 17 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns receiving. Wins the Heisman in a massive blowout over P. Jacobs and a lot of other running backs. OU slated to play Texas A&M number 5 in the Cotton Bowl. That's an interesting matchup. I think everyone would enjoy seeing that again. Let's see what happens and if they can win it. And OU wins over number 5 Texas A&M 27-20. That's a good way to cap off your season, get into double-digit wins. You'll love to see it, especially if you're a Sooner. You're used to double-digit wins. You really should have beat Oklahoma State there at the end of the season. That's a very shocking end to the season. Let's see how the record books shake up. Were there any changes? They got the Cotton Bowl trophy, yes. No record book changes, so not the best year for OU this year. But if you stuck around, I appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think if you like this series. I'm going to continue this series for the rest of the FBS teams. It's going to take a while, but we'll get it done. Thanks for sticking around again. Peace.